This video is an overview for the Solare Preferred Dimmer Panel. The Solare Preferred is DMX or Modbus ready, allowing a front-end controller to be used with the system. If a front-end controller is needed, a timekeeper or Nexus controller from TouchPlate can be used. Systems come in configurations of 6 to 12 dimmers per panel. The Solare Preferred has override control. Each channel is rated at 300 watts and can dim LED, incandescent, fluorescent, magnetic low voltage, and electronic low voltage lighting loads. Now let's review the terminations and the dip switches for the Solare Preferred. The yellow spring-loaded connector is for the 24-volt DC input. This is not polarity sensitive. The green-black-red spring-loaded connector is for the RS-45 panel-to-panel communication network. The green is for the ground or the shield. The black is for the minus, and the red is for the plus. Again, this is for the RS-45 panel-to-panel communication network. There are two RJ45 terminations on the Solare Preferred. There's one at the bottom, there's one at the top. This is a communication pass-through and a power pass-through. This simply takes a Cat5e patch cable. Again, this is for a communication pass-through and a power pass-through. There are 4 sets of dip switches on the Solare Preferred. Top is for RS-45 terminations. This set is not used. There's a set for the dimmer phase, a set for the dimmer addressing, and a set for the other functions. Let's start with the dimmer phase. There are 9 dip switches in the dimmer phase. The first 6 dip switches here are to set whether the dimmers are in reverse phase or forward phase. Dip switch number 1 will correspond with dimmer number 1, dip switch 2 to dimmer 2, all the way through dip switch number 6. So if the dip switch is in the on position, this will set the phase of the dimmers in reverse phase. If the dip switches are in the off position, this will put them in forward phase. So each one of these channels is phase selectable. You can get more information on these settings on page 9 of the manual. Dip switches 7, 8, and 9 are the trim settings. This is the low-end trim setting for each dimmer. This is just the cutoff settings, and there are 8 selectable settings here. And to get more information on those settings, on page 9 of the manual, we'll have each individual settings for the percentages and the cutoff settings there. The next set of dip switches is for the dimmer addressing. There are 9 available options here. Each of these dip switches will have a value that will represent it. Number 1 equals 1, 2 equals 2, 3 equals 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, and 256. To get more information on these addresses, page 10 of the Solare Preferred manual will go over the dimmer addressing. Moving along to the other functions, there are 6 available options here. Dip switches 1, 2, and 3 will set the baud rate. And dip switch number 5 is for a discovery. Again, 1, 2, and 3 are to set the baud rate. Number 4 is not used. Number 5 is for a discovery, and number 6 is not used. The discovery is to discover new modules that have been added to a system. To get more information on the other functions, page 11 of the Solare Preferred manual will have this information. There are a couple indicator LEDs on the Solare Preferred as well. Down at the bottom here, there's a heartbeat, which just simply indicates the Solare Preferred is being powered. And there's a communication LED, which indicates the Solare Preferred is communicating with the front end. So again, these are the terminations, the dip switches, and also the indicators for the Solare Preferred. Okay, now to review the line voltage side of the Solare Preferred. There's a terminal block at the bottom, which feeds power to the transformer. There are 6 terminals for the lighting loads, or switch legs, labeled DIM 1 and DIM 2. There are 3 terminals for the breaker feeds, and also 3 terminals for the neutrals. We hope this short video was helpful. To get more information, be sure to check us out on our website at touchplate.com.